Hello, everybody. Jamel here, May 12th, 2017. Just got into a trade on ES. Just to go over things that I look for when I'm trading the prints. I'm looking at an ES chart, a 3-5 tick chart, just a bar size that I'm experimenting with, but this can be applied pretty much across the bar sizes. It just depends on how you look at it. When I'm looking at the prints, I look for when buyers and sellers are wrong. Um, and what I mean by that is when stops are being hit, to simplify it. So just to show you a couple examples, I'm gonna turn the chart trade off for a second. Um, been having some computer issues this morning, so this is actually the first trade that I've taken all day. But as I say, had I been up during the overnight session, basically what you had was a push down. You had this push down right here, met with a slight reversal, and on this reversal, typical traders would say, okay, now it's time to go long. And instead, the market reversed, came back down, and then you got this cluster of volume right here, or what we call zones of interest. And basically, what that was stops being hit, um, based off of this reversal right here. A tick below, you can see that all the stops were being hit. All these people who thought the market was going to reverse, they got taken out, and the prints helped me visually see that. Let me stretch it out a little bit. Um, Went up, came back down, hit all the stops, and pushed down for a couple more ticks before reversing. And that's just to take out the rest of the people who had stops down there. Um, Now the market goes up, goes a little sideways right around this last little high right here, which is typical, is expected. Has to accumulate orders before pushing back up, and it goes back into the up direction, and then it comes down, makes another new low right here, and then pushes up, but doesn't quite make a new high. So now we're in a sideways market, right? So if I mark this off, you can see that we're oscillating in between here, and this is another accumulation phase before breaking out. And once it does break out, right below this low, what happens? Stops got filled because traders thought that maybe this was a pullback. It went up, it was a pullback for a continuation. But instead, they were wrong, and their stops got hit, and the market pushed down a little bit more before continuing to the upside. Okay, so now where we're at right now, why I took this trade short, is because in between this oscillation area, we had a couple mini magnets right here, what we call mini magnets, or orders that haven't been filled yet, and now the market has come up, filled those orders, and now we're looking to push back down. And what confirmed my entry short, if I turn my chart trader back on, is the fact that as soon as we got to the upside, we had some this purple box, this lavender box is a block order. We had block orders, and at the top of this bar was met with an imbalance and no more orders to be filled on the sell side to the upside. And if there's no more orders, no more sell orders to be filled to the upside, that means that buyers can't push it back up because there's nobody to meet their orders. So with no more orders to the sell side on the upside, and a huge imbalance off of the high, where I was looking to push this back down, to come back down south and ride it to the short side. So that's pretty much how I look at it. Slightly complex and does involve a little reading the price action to see what's going on. I really hate that I missed this one, and I really hate that I missed the other one early in the morning, but obviously I wasn't awake for that one. So that's basically what I'm looking for in the prints, is just to see where either buyers and sellers are wrong, or where the market has exhausted itself and it's filled all those orders in one particular direction, and it's time to go in the opposite direction. And you can usually see that after a accumulation phase, in which we call chop. Once we get chopped, like right here, it's accumulating orders to figure out what it wants to do, and then once it does, you see it breaks out, and you can visually see in the prints where those stops have been hit. Um, Another thing that I look for, let's just say if I want to scalp into a trade, I look for pullbacks met with imbalances and no more orders to be filled in a particular direction. So just like the trade that I'm in, I'm looking for that in within a trend. So we came down early morning. Now the market is reversing. It's going back up. Went into a little accumulation, and it broke out. And once it broke out, you see it pulled back. Actually, you see it on all these bars, but just for this example, it pulled back. Come on, no, I'm still having a little computer problems here. Pulled back, met pulled back with no more buy orders to fill the sellers so they can come down. So it pulled back, had a zero with an imbalance to push it back up. And basically, in order to push it back up from a pullback, you need some strong volume. So I actually have my imbalances set to 5 to 1 instead of 3 to 1 because, like we all know, ES is a heavily liquid market. So it needs a lot of volume to push it in one direction. So, and when I mean a lot of volume, I don't necessarily mean the number has to be big, but it has to be big in correlation to the opposite side. So in this case, you had 149 contracts traded in relation to only 5. So that's a big imbalance, which means that they're trying to force it back in one direction. So you could scalp that entry and take it up. Like most, I scalp ES for 4 ticks. I usually trade with 2 contracts. I get my first take profit off at 4 ticks, and then I try to get me a run at a key level. And if I'm going short, my key level right now um, would be the low of the day. I could actually use this swing point, but I kind of like this low of the day right here as a better take profit area. I need to get over 1 tick above that to get filled. Okay, so especially what I'm looking for in the print, and as you can see right now, we came reverse back down. It pulled back, met with an imbalance as of right now, and I'm still looking for the continuation to the downside to see what happens. So as I expected, we are in an accumulation mode right here at this swing point. So it might take a few minutes or so or whatever to come down and hit my take profit. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let this video run and come back and see what happens. I'm gonna walk away for a second, so I'll be back in a second.
Target filled.
Okay, that target was hit. Um, did exactly what I thought it was gonna do. It'd take forever. Um, it's lunchtime. We had a swing point where accumulation happens, as well as the most obvious one that I'm trading ES. So I don't expect for it to just fly up and down all day long. But basically that's what I'm looking for in a nutshell. Um, what buyers and sellers are wrong, what orders are filled, and no momentum to push it back through to in a particular direction. So stay in this trade, see how much I can squeeze out of this. I do have my stop at break even +1 right now, so if it gets hit, that's okay. I'm looking at CL as well. So just trying to spot different trades for those particular reasons. So thank you for watching.